I rise in strong support of this resolution before the House. We need to send a clear bipartisan message to the White House. There is little support in this Congress for deepening our open-ended military commitment in Iraq by sending an additional 21,000 troops into this conflict. The debate we're having today is about the future of our nation's policy in Iraq. So my main focus will not be to catalog the litany of the administration's past grave mistakes and misstatements over the last 4 years. At the same time, as a lesson for the future, it's important to remember that the war in Iraq was the first application of the Bush Doctrine. This policy was unveiled by the President in his commencement speech at West Point in June 2002 and made policy a few months later in the administration's 2002 National Security Strategy. The administration's doctrine stressed preemptive attack, U.S. military superiority, and U.S. unilateral action. This flawed policy has proven to be disastrous. It has destabilized Iraq and threatens to undermine the stability of the entire region. It blinded the administration to the Pandora's box it was opening with an invaded Iraq in search of weapons of mass destruction that did not exist and 9/11 terrorists that were not there. Far from strengthening U.S. security, this misguided doctrine has put our nation's vital interest at greater risk. The elevation of unilateralism has helped erode our nation's standing in the world. The released NIE estimate for Iraq underscores just how flawed the administration's doctrine has been. Among the key judgments, I quote, Iraqi society's growing polarization, the persistent weakness of the security forces and of the state in general. And again, I quote, extremists continue to act as a very effective accelerator for what has become a self-sustaining intersectarian struggle between Shia and Sunnis. And now I quote again, the intelligence community judges that the term civil war does not adequately capture the complexity of the conflict in Iraq. The judgments of the National Intelligence Estimate reinforce the view that a military solution in Iraq is not possible. The administration has attempted troop surges in the past. They haven't worked. Adding another 21,000 American troops will not put an end to violence and instability in Iraq. The only chance to do that is for Iraq's leaders and factions to come together and begin the difficult process of political compromise and reconciliation. I believe that announcing the orderly redeployment of U.S. forces is the best way to put pressure on the factions in Iraq to come together and make these difficult choices. And this resolution is straightforward. It states clearly and unambiguously that Congress does not support the President's plan. It supports our military personnel, but not a further military escalation. Some have said it's not serious because it's non-binding. Others have said the resolution emboldens our enemies and hurts the troops. How does it embolden our enemies or hurt the troops for this Congress to disapprove continuing a strategy that's not working? The resolution we are debating today is non-binding, but is not non-consequential. I hope the administration will hear the clear bipartisan message we're sending and change course. The question today before the House is whether or not we agree with the President's plan to send 21,000 additional troops to Iraq to referee a growing civil war. I do not agree with this escalation. I urge all my colleagues to join in calling on the President to change course in Iraq. I yield back.